All right. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're not tired of me yet. We're still talking about the 5 C's. This is the third edition. Technically, it's the fourth, but this is the third C that we're about to cover. This is an important one. So I don't think I'm going to tell you anything you don't know. I don't think I'm going to tell you anything revolutionary, but hopefully I could give you a little bit of information that might kind of get you thinking, I get it. I understand why it's important. So what's the third C? Cash. You know, I don't know, however many years ago, 10, 15, whatever. Some years ago, Mr. Clean came out with this product called the Magic Eraser. And I thought it was silly, but I love marketing. And everybody in my circle started talking about it. I'm a college kid too, by the way. So it's like, who the hell talks about a magic eraser during college? This thing must be pretty special. I ended up buying a magic eraser and I used it and I absolutely understood what they were talking about. It literally erases anything. Okay. Cash in our world is in many ways similar to a magic eraser. If there is a credit flaw in a deal, if there's a credentials, or lack of credentials that are apparent in a deal, cash is the one that comes in and helps. That's going to have to be cut. I have a cold. So cash is the one that comes in and cleans up the mess, if you will. Always. It's always been the case since the beginning of time. So shortly after college, I got into the real estate business. I got into real estate specifically by way of title, which was a unique experience for me. If you're new to the business and you're looking for a job, an apprenticeship, or something along those lines, consider title. You get this 360 view of the world. Well, part of my 360 view of the world was, I was getting looks at loans. I was getting looks at real estate deals. I was getting looks at investment properties. I met a guy, turned me on to this one investment property. I made an offer on the property, not knowing where the hell I was going to get the cash. I just knew I wanted to take it down because I could buy it for 200 and I could flip it for 400. Those are real numbers back in 2002 days. I was way over my skis. I put a down payment on it, like a earnest money deposit. I put $5,000 down. Again, didn't know what I was doing. I'm a young man, not married, no family, just, fresh out of school trying to make some things happen. I give this guy $5,000. It was probably the last $5,000 I had. Then I'm like, oh, I actually need to buy this thing. Where am I going to get the loan? I did the whole loan thing. Down payment was what was being asked. I didn't have the cash. It's like, oh crap, we're in a pickle. So who do I call? I call a sibling. I call one of my brothers. I said, hey, Roy, that's his name. And I need some cash to take down this property. We're going to, I want to buy it. If you invest with me, we'll split it up however we split it up. He's like, how much do you need? I was like, well, it's $200,000. I need to put 20% down. So I'm going to need 40 grand. I already put 5 in. So I'd need 35. But wait, I also need 50 grand to fix it. I'm going to need about $100,000. And my brother's like, holy cow. Okay. So we thought about it. We talked about it. We made it happen. We ended up buying the property. We ended up making a killing, especially for a 22, 23-year-old kid, making a killing on this property. But the long story short, that deal would not have happened without cash. Okay. I put a little bit of money down. It wasn't enough. They needed more. Without cash, that deal wouldn't have happened. So he and his cash kind of erased my blemishes of lack of cash and lack of credentials because the cash was present. So I shared that with you to tell you cash does help move things along. Can you invest in real estate with no cash? Probably not. Can you make money in real estate with no cash? Yes. There's different ways. That's not what this is about. We're talking about borrowing, right? We're talking about going to the bank and being bankable. Cash is going to be one of those great things. So, I mentioned the Corvette in a previous series. I was declined for cash then. I suppose I was declined for cash this one. I just powered through. Maybe that was my first, segue into just powering through and figuring something out. But what powered through wasn't me. It was cash. It was somebody else's cash. What exactly does cash mean? We all know what cash means. The money you have in the bank, checkings, savings, retirement accounts, those count as cash. What else is important? Some life insurance policies have a cash value. Okay. But what exactly does a lender look at, when they're trying to size up your cash position? Real simple. In my world, okay, everybody's going to be a little bit different. But generally speaking, this is going to touch 80, 90% of them. In my world, cash is two things. It's the down payment Remember that the example of the house that I told you that I flipped with my brother? It was in North Miami Beach, by the way. I don't remember the street, but North Miami Beach house. That one example, I needed 20% down. 20% down in that example is 40 grand. Okay. So in my world, it's down payment, 40 grand, plus post-closing reserves. Okay. In my world, I look for at least 6 months of interest payments when talking post-closing reserves. It's everybody's going to have a different way of doing it. Everybody's going to have a different formula. My formula works for me because I know if you invest a down payment and you have enough money to carry the interest payments, you've got enough money to sustain this project. If you only have 2% down, odds are you don't have money to sustain the project. And then odds are the project's going to get, affected down the road, potentially even leading to a default, which is the last thing that any lender wants. I'll say it right now. Maybe there is somebody out there. Actually, we went kind of loan shark route when we flipped this house in North Miami Beach. There might still be some loan sharks out there. I don't know them. If I did, they're not on my cell phone anymore because it's just not my tribe. Every single lender that I know right now in the United States wants to get their money back. They want to get paid. They want to get paid on time, and they don't want to deal with any of the headaches that come by way of an operations failure. It's an investment to them. Okay, they're not the operator, the borrower, the investor, the flipper, the home builder. That's the person. That's the person who's operating the investment. So one thing I want everybody to know about cash. I mean, I hope I helped kind of talk through what exactly it means. Cash is simply put down payment and reserves. Why? Because it actually helps somebody with blemishes on credit, on collateral, on character. But here's the thing. Whenever you start talking about cash, it'll always be verified. This is the biggest takeaway and tip. Anytime you tell your lender, I have $100,000 to invest in this deal, they're going to take you at your word. Okay. But every single lender operates under the premise of trust, but verify. So if you tell them you have $100,000, make sure it's there, whether it's in your account or somebody else's account, make sure it's there so that you could show it to them. The last thing you ever want to do is get into a relationship where you start with a trust issue with a lender, because as I mentioned in a previous version of this series, once a lender puts their guard up, very hard to bring it down. So start from a place of trust. Tell them what you have. Tell them how you're going to do it. And of course, make sure that it's all verifiable. So we talked about cash for just a few minutes. We're now going to jump into the less dynamic, less fun, less, some people might even say less important, one of the C's. But frankly, it's one of those C's that is either pass or fail, and that's character. I hope you stick around and join on the next one. Looking forward to it.